go. And 23:11. My foot has held fast to his steps. I have kept his way and have not turned aside. No one likes trials, no one likes being tested. But it is so true after testing, like QC, quality control. I think Tommy understands most of the goods. You have to do the quality control to make sure that before you sell it, the quality is good enough to be sold. But after the trial, we learn something new. Our life changed. And in many situations, the choices we have to make, it's not about how good I am or how bad someone is. It is about, do I want to keep the principle of God, to treat someone in a better way, even she or he may not deserve it. So, when I read Job in this month, I just want to know, what am I going to do in this time full of trials and full of temptations and full of tests? What do I need from God? Then I read chapter 19. This is the chapter. It's like a very short film in his life to tell people what Job encountered. Job faces so many calamity, bad things in his life. He lost everything. He lost his family. He lost his faith. And he was attacked by his good friends. Suppose they came to comfort him. But you can see chapter 19, 6 and 7. Know then that God has put me in the wrong and closed his net about me. Behold, I cry out, violence, but I am not answered. I call for help, but there is no justice. How bad you can feel. God, you worship, being good to him. His life is full of prosperity. But now, he lost everything. He lost his good faith. He was like a position, high position rank, just dropped dead on the ground. So, what kind of relationship between him and God? So, verse 19. All my intimate friends abhor me, and those whom I love have turned against me. My bones stick to my skin and to my flesh, and I have escaped by the skin of my teeth. He suffered from so bad the sores. It's like a skin cancer. The whole body has no place. You find comfort, irritated and bruised. So, to Job, the picture, Job in trials, he keeps seeking, he keeps listening, and he endures the sufferings. I tried to find the pictures from the internet. You can see so many pictures to reflect what's the experience Job encountered. I like the middle one. I don't like the one on the right hand side. What is that finger means? It means your relationship with God has something wrong. In the traditional way, the Jews would think, you must do something wrong so that you got punishment. You got punishment. For this reason, in the traditional way, Jews believe that Job was a sinner, very serious sinner. For that reason, the three friends came to him. They sit with him for 7 days and nights. Their goal was to comfort him and to mourn with him for his losses. And after 7 days, Job started to curse himself, his birth, and also to claim he is innocent. He has never did anything to sin against God, because Job is a person with dignity, with integrity. But this brings the whole book of Job with more than 10 times to have questions and answers with 3 friends and 1 young people. In the middle of the picture, you can see talking and listening. What is the main theme for the book of Job? We may think it is all about suffering, but actually the most repeating word in Job, it was 37 times about wisdom. What is wisdom? What is wisdom? Wisdom is about seeking. Wisdom is about questioning. In the book of Job, you will find 200 to 300 questions. Job keep asking God, asking man, what he had done wrong. I deserve all this calamity, all this curses. So, in questioning, you will find another repeating word. It is about 18 times evil man. Evil man. In the book of Job, evil man repeats, not 18 times. It is about 33 times evil man. We have to recognize we are not living in the land with all peace. We are living in the place on earth with all kinds of attacks. The attacks in Job happens 18 times. In the dialogue, the 3 friends always thinking the correct faith brings blessings. Never ever for the one who is piety, who is righteous, will suffer from bad things. It was wrong. Obviously, it was wrong. So, if you put yourself on Job's position, what do you think? What's the biggest challenge to Job? Was it the suffering itself? Was it the losses? I don't think so. It is about the confusion or unsure, not sure who God is. What kind of relationship between me and God? So for this reason, I just think about when relationship turns sour, what is the worst thing? You just feel you are the object of the big deity without mercy. Am I the object under God? Does anything can bring good to me in all this calamity? So, when I think about bugs, we always think bugs being the object to be stamped, to be healed. But we go back to the Acts chapter 12 and 23. On an appointed day, Herod put on his robe, took his seat upon the throne, and delivered an oration to them. And the people who were shouting, "The voice of a God and not of a man." Immediately, an angel of the Lord struck him down. Because he did not give God the glory, and he was eaten by worms, and bread is lost. Can you imagine the most powerful man killed by a small little girl, man without breath? In Job's experience, he cursed his birthday. He was in great despair. His life is like a drama, from the highest place dropping to the lowest ground. Then, you see, this is the time when you feel you are worthless. How many times you think you yourself worthless? Sometimes, maybe not every day, but sometimes. And what really crushed Job's faith, it's not about properties. It's not about his faith. It's not about the loss, even the loss of his children. You will be surprised. Why? Job didn't show any grief in the word, saying that he blamed himself for the loss of his children. It was all about, in Job's life, it was all about his walk with God. And he never blamed himself about everything. But he told God, "Please, tell me what is your purpose in all this calamity." So, I will go further down. So when things in a mess, when you are so desperate, when you feel being abandoned, when your best friends left you alone, what can you do? What can you do? We have to be honest to admit, no one can walk your life. You alone, in the midst of difficulties, in the midst of confusion, you walk yourself and to walk with God. No one can walk your life. There was a series program in 2017, the TV Channel 5, they make a very special program series. They ask people to be confined in the place without books, without phone, mobile phone, no electronic device, no radio, no this one, iPad, nothing. You stay inside the container for the whole 5 days, 4 nights. What is their goal to do this? They want to see how people react when they are confined, without any conversation, without hearing anything. Was it easy? You have no book, no Bible, you have no radio, you have no TV, you have no mobile phone. Who can survive? So, in these 5 days, the 5 candidates were waiting to do the confinement. The first one came out. She was a nurse, a young mother with 2 kids, a very loving husband. She bring the doll, the toy doll. She bring the very encouraging letter from her husband. She bring these 2 things with her, and she could not stay for 5 hours in the confinement. Because when she was alone, she realized she attached so much of the modern technology. She attached so much of the loving relationship with her kids, her husband. It shows her in 5 hours the reality. She attached so much of the world relationship, the devices, the children, because they were her center. Did you realize the mobile phone, the iPad, the radio program, the internet program could be the idols to keep you away from the real relationship with God? The second one, actually, he was the program touch and see. And he could not bear any more after 24 hours in the confinement. He was so busy with his husband. He created the program, he produced the program, he was the very famous artist on the TV. He never think about to be confined in the very small container for 5 days. He could not bear it. After a few hours, he started to complain. Oh my dear, how small was my bed. Oh, so bad on the lights too. Too much money. Oh, I had no watch. I could not know how much time passing. My life was not in my control. In the confinement, he learned his life was not in his control. And he could not bear with that show content. There's no Twitter, there's no Facebook, there's no more about social web. He attached so much of the social life as well. Who survived? Only 3 candidates survived. And the one woman, he divorced. He decided to separate with his husband because she got married after 6 months. She find her husband has an affair in 6 months. She was with her husband 8 years before she got married. Before she got married, 8 years being friends with her husband. And it really struck her. In 6 months of the marriage relationship, her husband betrayed her and got affairs with other women. She decided to take advantage of this time of confinement to understand her heart, to understand the meaning of divorce, to understand what would be her choice in future. So she brings the color pencil, she brings with her the paper for drawing picture, and she brings herself the way to do exercise. She brings these three things. She didn't want to talk to anyone. She wanted to be honest to herself. In the failure of a marriage, never ever the single party did the wrong thing. In human relationship, we easily break it and we blame the other side. And this lady, she decided to make use of this time to understand her heart, to understand her upbringing, to understand the failure of her marriage. And after 5 days, she came out with a new plan, with a new hope. In the 5 days, she remembered one thing: the unconditional love of her family, her mother, her parents. You know, in the time, in difficulties, we always blame, we always complain. We never think about any meaning for God. He used this time to make our life more strong and to be more mature. So when we are wounded, what can we do? For Job, he kept searching, asking, to have dialogue with his friends and to have dialogue with God. Job, in his pain, he acknowledged God's sovereignty. He kept asking questions and he challenged the traditional theology. Am I only a choice of God? Am I the object to be played? Am I the subject to be built? Is my destiny programmed? You need to understand the word. This morning I talked to my sister. What do you think? To be the object is better or to be the subject is better? The first person or the third person? What do you want to be? We like to be the subject. We want to be the person to be put in the center. We want to be noticed. And when we become the object, we think we could be hurt. Because we are the object. Especially for you, you work in the home, you work in the house, you're under your boss, and you are subjected to the person. It is so easily you will think, I have no freedom at all. I have no freedom at all. I was in the confinement and I was the one being badly treated. Could be. But have you think about this is not about you confined. You are confined to be the object, to be the one who suffered. But in God's hand, you choose to be the subject or to be the object. The first thing is very important. We do not put others, brothers and sisters. We do not treat others as our target, as our object, as someone to fulfill our agenda. In this case, What do Hong Kong people think? What kind of challenges we are facing? We are under so much of the controlling. We are under so much of the treatment. We are not on the same page, on the same steps, on the same position. And we are without any power. Is this what's real for us? Like the word in the book of Acts, the word is so small, but in God's hand, He fulfilled God's word. So when we and His sister be together, the first thing we need to remind ourselves: do not treat others as your God. To fulfill your desires. Second thing is very important. What about the relationship between you and God? To be sure God is God. In the whole book, Job learned submission. In his time, God revealed him. In his time, God believes. We are the submissive to God, to be submissive to God. But there is one thing we need so much and it's about trust. Do we will control our life? If we think it is the earthly power we need but it's not every time we are able to our life. It is God who is control. Let's pray. So Lord, give us the perspective to see with your eyes. Whatever controls, you are here, and you bring good things, even in bad situations. Oh Lord, strengthen our faith. Give us the perspective to see our life is in your hand. You are the sovereign God. We come to you. We say, please surrender. Surrender is not a passive action, but it is an active choice we take to trust in you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I hope I didn't talk too much. Thank you so much, Pastor.
went to the door, I can't take anymore. Said you let me down again. Baby, try to find a little time. I'll make you mine.